Hello and welcome you all in this weekly webinar series. We will start very soon. So before we start, I would like to request you all to please mute your microphones, turn off your cameras. If you have any questions or you want to say something, just put your questions in a chat window and be polite and professional during the call. So myself, Ranjit, the host of this session, I would like to welcome you all in this weekly webinar, Connect, Share and Learn with Global Teachers, Top 50 finalists for Global Teacher Award. Till now, we have invited 8 guest speakers, Mr. Jeff from USA, uh, Scott from Canada, Michael Dunlap from USA, Leo Juki again from USA, Gustavo from Mexico, Carolina from I think she was from Argentina, and Lucy from Russia. And last week we have invited Mohammed from UAE. But today we have very special guest and with her, very unique topic, inclusive education. And she is from Colombia. Her name is Cindy, and she is from Enrica Olaya School, Colombia. And today she's going to talk about how she has changed the life of special needs students and how ICT has helped her while using the tools. So to agenda for today, I'll be just introduction of our guest speaker, then followed by 15 minutes presentation, and we have 10 more minutes for the question and answers, and at last we will conclude the session. So let me first welcome my guest speakers, Cindy from Colombia, the Mr. Sanjay Kumar Rathod, the education officer in here in Maharashtra, and my co-host actually today she is absent, but I would like to welcome her as well. So the guest, Cindy, she has completed her PhD in inclusive education and she's a master in inclusive education. She has a wide experience in education for 12 years and she is a teacher of school Enrique Ola Hera School in Colombia and a coordinator of a teacher training, research, development and innovation at University of El Bosco. She got recognized at national and international levels for creating resources and strategies to support persons with disabilities through the technology. She ranked second in Albaro American Award for teaching work. She is a young Colombian leader recognized in the category scientific and technological development. So Cindy, I would like to welcome you with your all of passion and energy. You are the top 50 finalists among all of us. And today, Cindy will be talking about inclusive education. Uh, Cindy, first of all, welcome, and now you can start sharing your screen. Please go ahead.
Thank you for my presentation. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep, now it's visible. Yes.
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes.
Okay.
Best of luck.
Thank you. A greeting to everyone from Colombia. I am a teacher of technology and informatics at the Enrique Olaya Herrera School and a research at El Bosque University. I am a PhD in inclusive education, master degree in information technologies applied to education, graduate of technological design. Today, I tell you about 1. History of an idea, 2. My life project, 3. Hobby or research, 4. Projections, 5. I want to create. This presentation is about for an education for all. The story of my idea arose in 2004 when I was a student and I met a deaf student. I didn't know Colombian Sign Language and I felt the need as a teacher in training to learn. For a research, I checked that there are many disabled people that I could help. By 2018, were already registered 3,276,000 people in Colombia. This situation potentiated in me the idea of creating technology for inclusion. My life project is about to create projects or development according to these four phases. Number one, investigate. Identify the context and realities of people. Number two, project. Propose an alternative solution to address according to the identified need. Number three, living the experience. Apply the project with my people. And number four, value the process. Evaluate the impact of the project applied with the beneficiary population. These phases integrating with the multiple forms of expression and action, motivation, and representation. My first project is a system that recognizes voice and translates it into Colombian Sign Language. In this project, input capture voice signal and output 3D representation of the Colombian Sign Language and spelling of the identified sign. My second project, I developed a system that translates electroencephalographic signs into verbal writing language. In this project, input capturing the deaf user electroencephalographic signals and output written and verbal language. In this research process, create 3 hotbeds of research. In my school, the name is Inclutec EOH, Enrique Olaya Herrera School. And my university, create Innovab and Inclutic UEB El Bosque University. So that my students can create resource technologies for inclusion, integrating software, hardware, and teaching resources. The following design is the development of 3 versions of mobile application that recognize the voice and translate it into Colombian Sign Language. Let us take a small example. In this application, integrate the bilingual model. The first language of deaf community is the Colombian Sign Language, and its second language is the verbal writing language of Spanish. In this example, recognize word or letter and translate in 3D representation of sign. This is the other integrate bilingual model. Recognize words and translate in 3D representation of signs. Colombian Sign Language. This video is about these are examples or working with the deaf community of Nariño Pasto in Colombia. Integrate Colombian Sign Language, and the second language is the verbal writing language of Spanish. Teach by my students, with my students, language, the verbal writing language of Spanish. In my doctorate, I was able to create a virtual classroom for deaf students, supporting the teaching of ICT tools and reading and writing. This is an example of my virtual classroom. In virtual classroom, integrate Colombian Sign Language. These are projects created by my students' school, Enrique Olaya School. For example, in this project, device through Arduino, so that a person with upper limb amputation can control a computer with the movement on his head. Movement of his head. Okay. This project is about a mobile application, people with mobility difficulties. It's possible to help application for people with mobility difficulties. Control this house. I invite you to see a video that we create with my students in English. Quite a challenge for them. Sindey Carolina Bernal Villamarin, Bogotá, Colombia. Enrique Olaya Herrera School, Teacher of Technology and Informatics. Do a classroom inclusive EOH. You know that 50% the world population have some kind of disability. In Colombia, in 2015, approximately 3 million persons will register on the disability register. In our institution, we have 77 primary school children and 33 secondary school students with disability. Materials and resources for students, teachers, and parents are not available, resulting in the poor academic performance, disciplinary difficulties, family demotivation for education.
A research incubator with grade 10 and 11 students was consolidated through a strategy for the creation of inclusive technological resources and developed pathways and material for students, teachers, of parents of our school in order to expand the goal sustainable development of quality education for all at the level of education.
Creating video games, ACT resources use of software and hardware, acting as an enhancer of the brain and cognitive skills. Identify the needs and interests of girls, boys, and their families to understand their development and learning process. Create and make strategies to promote the action of children and enhance their development through the design of environments, dispose objects, promote the construction of projects, implement projects that allow the children and their families to experience it. Always reflect on practice. Try to answer questions about the ways in which boys and girls learn and the best ways to promote their development.
The problem in some cases are the resources, materials, and the teacher formation about this difficult in the classroom. We participate in various events to promote the development of our project.
An orthesis of the middle finger of the right hand was designed for Laura Barrero, who has congenital multiple arthrogryposis to improve mobility in manipulating objects and manuscripts.
Microbit kits were created to enhance the development of computational thinking through mini projects to take advantage of Microbit and its programming in MakeCode.
Was designed a rugged, material-accessible button to support people, blindness to facilitate moving, orientation through a sound sensor when detecting an object.
For people with blindness, the cane is strength, using glasses that integrate a sensor to give the information to the person the proximity of the up to the height of his face, since the cane doesn't reach his detention range.
Currently, a group of 1,000 students is impacted with their parents benefiting from inclusive ICT resource, 50 teachers and 50 students leaders who support classroom construction through our school research hotbed.
I am the inclusive scientist. I am the inclusive technology.
I am inclusive engineer.
I am the inclusive math.
I am the inclusive communicator.
I'm the inclusive designer.
I'm the inclusive engineer.
I am inclusive technology.
I am the leading inclusive teacher. My projection is about design of digital educational resource for inclusion, integrate videos, image, inclusive histories, simulations, virtual classroom, and augmented reality and virtual reality. It's a projection about design of digital educational resources with my students in my school and my university. And finally, I invite you to create, I do it through 4 phases. 1, identify your problem or need. 2, propose alternative for a solution. 3, create your solution. Identify necessary human and technological equipment. And 4, try your proposal out. Many thanks for your valuable attention.
Yes, Cindy, if you can stop sharing, yes.
Yes,
Thank you
yes.
so much, and I'm very much happy the way you have innovated some things. It's really unbelievable. You know, I saw the students using the mobile devices and some sensors putting on their on the heads. So I'm really, what you can say, surprised, and I can't express my happiness to meet you, and I truly feel that you are the best teacher in the world who actually changed the life of special needs students. But my question is, how actually you are doing these things? Because making the sensors, developing the apps that can, sense the language and the emotions. How do you make these type of things, make it happen?
Is repeat.
Okay, my question is,
Use.
you did a great job,
Okay.
but how did you make this happen? You have some sort of technological background or anything that pushed you to learn for these students?
Okay. I learned different things in 4 phases, and all the resources is shared. And wait a minute.
Okay, no worry.
Integrating videos, virtual reality, augmented reality is described about 4 phases. Yes,
Mhm.
and in these phases is integrate. Y ahora no encuentro. Investigate. The first phase, investigate. Identify the context and reality of people. My students identify this context and reality of people, and next project propose to alternative solution through according these identified needs in this context. Yes.
Okay.
And 3 phase, living experience. Apply the project with people, and finally evaluate the process to impact the project applied with the beneficiary population. It's different solution, software, hardware, resources, material of teacher is different.
Okay.
Depend the context.
But it means you first investigate the problem, then you go for the prototype, what might be the product, and then you apply the knowledge and you ask your students. But how old are your students? How old are your students?
How old are?
How old are your students?
Um, 15 and 17
Years old?
approximately in the school. And in university, 20, 25 approximately.
Okay. And
Very
all
young,
the
young people.
and all the innovations or the product you developed are made by the university students or your school students?
Repeat, please. Can you?
Yeah. The product you developed, like a mobile application or that sensors, those are being developed by university students or your school going students?
Students in my school design application, design software, hardware, and my students in university same design application, software.
Okay, it means something like they are taking forward the ideas of school going students, something like this.
Collaborative work. It's our
Yeah.
collaborative work. Yes.
Right. Okay. So we have questions from audience. Sharat Chandra is asking, he wants to know more about hotbed research project.
Okay, Hotbed Research Project is integrate students to design research, design different innovation, design mobile application. Is generate, ¿cómo se dice semilla en inglés?
So
Natalia,
Natalia, could you please help?
Seed, generate seed in this heart of my students.
Okay.
Yes, design different projects. Natalia, ¿cómo se dice apadrinar? Apadrinar, acompañar.
Natalia, could you please help her? I think she has left.
Yes.
Sindey, sponsor.
Yeah.
Sponsor? Ah, okay. It's words difficult to translate in English.
Yeah, actually, the word semillero in Spanish comes from the word seed, which transmits all the idea of when you plant a plant, when you make it grow. So it consists on making this idea and this to make the students want to continue researching. And the starting point is their what they like to do, but their ideas too. So it's the idea consists on like a planting a tree, which will grow up with their research.
Yes.